The Estria Foundation's latest project, Mele Murals, was recently completed in the small town of Waimea on the island of Hawaii.
Mele Murals is a series of murals that we're intending to do across all the islands. The larger goal is to build and sustain a public art movement. So each place that we go paint a mural, we're partnering with youth from that area, high school age.
The first school to participate was Kanuaka'aina New Century Public Charter School, where the students were involved in a week worth of intensive workshops.
You're officially the first mural, so we're very excited to try to do this with you. I want you to understand that this is your community, this is your town, this is your island. We can share with you how we paint, how we ground and connect and ask for guidance. And we hope to just share with you those things so that you can then tell your stories, that you're the storytellers for your people.
The students were challenged in many ways, first being tasked with selecting the mele or songs and chants that were to be depicted for the mural, as well as conceptualizing the imagery. One of the chosen songs was Na Pu'u Kaulana o Waimea, written by Waimea native Emalani Case.
So yeah, it's a simple mele, but it's about being attached to this place and about knowing your place. It actually is the first mele I ever wrote. It's a really simple song. It's meant for keiki, it's meant for kids. I tried to make it joyful and fun, something that would stick in their minds so that they would remember these names. For me, I play with words, I play with language, and I try to take what I see in the external world and put them into words, and then to see them then retranslated into images is amazing.
The next step was finding a space for the mural to exist, and local art house Kahilu Theatre stepped up immediately.
It was really important for Kahilu Theatre to be in this project, or to be part of this project. We are the performing arts centre for all of North Hawaii, and we have wonderful theatre and education programs, but we have been presenting the same face, you know, the same green old wall for a long time.
Once songs were selected, walls were approved, and a proper blessing given, the paint party was underway, with children of all ages and from different schools getting involved.
At least this side you guys got more space to play with.
John Hina, or more famously known as Prime, the founder of 808 Urban, was brought on in collaboration, as his talents as an artist and as a youth mentor were vital to the success of this first mural.
Oh! Okay, you try. My intention for this was to surrender all my own personal thoughts and the way I would usually envision the mural happening, and kind of like keep my mind open so that way their knowledge and their vision can come into me, through me, and then through my hands. We divided this wall into 8 different sections, or the makavalu, the eight eyes, 8 ways of looking at things.
After 3 long days and late nights of painting a surface area of about 1,635 square feet, it was time for the mural to be showcased at an unveiling event, which again, the students were put in charge of organizing.
Well, I feel like it's important for our community to have an event like this because we're not so used to it. It's not only us unveiling a mural or sharing mo'olelo, but it's also bringing us as a community together, and I think that's a pono way to do it, is through our mural.
It's so much more than any of us thought it would be. It's really wonderful. We all knew it was going to be good. We all knew it had good heart. It was coming from the right place. But we didn't know it would be this good. We didn't know it would be this good. We didn't know how many students were going to engage with the process, how much a part of them it sprang from. and we're just delighted with the outcome. It looks beautiful.
Thank you for meeting with us. Could you please introduce yourself and the foundation you're with?
Aloha, my name is Estria Miyashiro and I'm the Executive Director of the Estria Foundation. We're a nonprofit in Honolulu, Hawaii, and we serve mostly young people and artists and communities around the islands.
What could you say is your mission statement for Estria Foundation?
The mission of the Estria Foundation is to use art in public spaces to raise awareness on critical human and environmental issues. And we found that the most effective way to make change is through education. So we're continually evolving and developing more programs to serve people from youngest age up through adult. So our programs serve mostly high school, but we also serve from kindergarten through high school, going into college, and now we also offer classes for working professional educators.
Could you please tell us about this location that we're at?
We're here today in Kamiki High School. It's a high school in the Department of Education public school system here on Oahu. This is the neighborhood I actually was born and raised in, and so it's very special to me. And we have a nice arrangement with the school where, as a nonprofit, we're allowed to be on the campus and use the space, and in exchange we offer classes for their students, and the students get credit. The students receive credit towards graduation. They have to complete so many electives, so art comes under that category.
Your main story. What is your message you'd like to let be known to those in Europe and in particular Switzerland?
I like big butts and I cannot lie. Probably the biggest thing we do here is to educate young people, not just in how to paint murals, but also in our Hawaiian culture. We try to share with them a Hawaiian perspective, an indigenous perspective. We try to connect them with the land. And we also teach them meditation to help them connect to the heavens and the earth, to their ancestors. And in that way, to make them be a voice for their people, and also to be a voice for those that don't have a voice, whether they've journeyed on or they're just silent, oppressed people, what have you. As Hawaiians, we feel that the land comes first. And the order of our priorities really is you take care of the place, then you take care of each other, and then you take care of business. So if you can't accomplish taking care of the earth first, you don't make that business decision. That's how Hawaiian would think. That's not how a politician or a business person would think. So why we have so many problems today. I see what you're saying. Art is good as therapy, yeah. It can help you face your demons or resolve your issues. I also think that being in Hawaii, we focus a lot on aloha and trying to operate at a higher vibration, trying to enlightenment, love, and peace and joy. If folks have anger and stuff, art can be a good way to raise yourself from that. Same for the meditation. So rather than attacking an issue with an angry message, shaming someone or something like that, we can talk about the positives, like how can this be our responsibility, our kuleana? How can we take care of this together and offer solutions, as an artist? Because really you're sort of like a philosopher, a storyteller, a problem solver, and you have the opportunity to paint better pictures of how the future could be. So rather than all the murals we used to do of fist in the air, people protesting, I didn't feel like we had as much impact doing those kinds of pieces as compared to what we do now.
I'm curious about the demographics, sort of the ethnic background for Kaimuki High School.
This high school has a very diverse makeup of students. Like, I don't know how many different island nations are represented just in the one class at any given time. Can't pronounce half those islands. And if you go in the library, you'll hear Korean and Japanese and Vietnamese and all kinds of stuff. So for whatever reason, they're all mixed in together here.
Yeah, sort of outline the process of how you come from concept to execution for a mural.
We have two main programs at the moment. One is called Halau Paheona, which is visual art school. That's these classes that are here at Kaimuki High. And we also have Mele Murals, which goes island to island, school to school, and we partner with different schools. And we go there and work with them for a few weeks and complete a project. And we leave and come back. Whereas this one is year-round. Those are sort of one-time projects. Both of them use the same process. We teach the young people as much as we can with the time we have about their place. When possible, we'll bring in elders that are knowledgeable in the areas or knowledgeable in the sacred places to share with them some ike, some wana'o, so that they can take these lessons and carry them on. So as much as possible, especially when we work with schools and other areas, we try to bring in elders, kupuna, that can speak on the importance of the places, the importance of taking care of that place. They can explain how the land works, how the water works in that area, so that they have a deeper understanding, a deeper appreciation, and really anything to get them to fall in love with where they are so that they become caretakers.
What are some current environmental issues that the Mele Murals is addressing at this time?
With Mele Murals, when we teach the students to meditate, they ask the land what it wants there. They ask, they ask the heavens for inspiration. They ask their ancestors for guidance. Every single mural is specific to that place. So it's either about taking care of that area, or, like say in the case of University of Hawaii at Hilo, it was about what kind of education are you doing in an institutional place. So it's always specific. And so the interesting thing is we never know what the story's going to be until we meditate with them. And then several students will get the same ideas, and then we'll find out what the message is from there. Yeah, so each of the Mele Murals concept is usually all the ideas come through the children. Even if they can't draw, they have the ideas, and it comes through, and then we have to just figure out, well, why do we get that? Why is that important? And then through the sketching and talking and maybe more meditating, we figure it out. And that's how we form the subject matter for the murals.
I'm curious, what kind of meditation are you doing with the students?
I don't know what it's called, but
sort of,
the meditation was taught to me by a couple of Hawaiians that are here. And, we just sit, get them to quiet their minds, so that once you're still, you're in a better position to receive. And that could be sounds, that could be pictures. For me, I'm visual, so I tend to see stuff. Some people are like kinesthetic, so they might feel things, especially dancers and athletes, or people that like music might hear chanting or talking, or you might pick something up in the wind. But you're gonna miss all of that if you're busy and you're anxious and you're not grounded. So just getting them to be quiet first and settle, and then to trust what comes to them. On each mural project, the students usually have some great ideas, and many of them can't draw. So we tell them, just draw your best. It could be stick figures, I don't care, and then put some notes on the side, you know. And then we'll share the ideas, and in the sharing, sometimes more ideas come. And then from there, the teachers or the lead artists of the project will take all of that and start to see, well, what was repeating throughout from student to student. And those are the things we should focus on, because it's confirmation, right? So if 6 people got the same image in the meditation, we know that's important. If only one got a red fireball, we know that's not important. The kid got a cheeseburger, I know he's just hungry. As far as what we do that's different is the meditation is a huge part. So with the meditation, it's spirituality. It's connecting to the heavens. It's just connecting. And in a Hawaiian perspective, you know, like Westerners here will say, think before you act. And all our education is emphasized on using this as your tool. But in Hawaiian perspective, this is a tool too. You know, this is your connection to everything. And so it really should be think and feel before you act. You know, like you get that gut feeling like something's not right here, or I shouldn't go to that place. You need to listen to that, right? Because when you don't, that's when you get into trouble. And they'll tell you other things like this place feels good. Yeah, this person is right. I can work with this person. You know, and whether it's the universe or God or your ancestors, spirit, energy, I don't care what you call it. It's another way. And something I say often too is that in Western societies, we is this way. It's among the living. And we is not this way among those that can't be seen and the earth and the heavens. And when you think we both ways, then you make your decisions differently. You know, why would you put an oil pipeline there? There's water. Why would you put a telescope on that mountain? It's a portal. It's sacred. It's, you know, so important. And you just can't see it. You can't feel it because you've learned not to see and feel those things. So I feel that if a person doesn't understand, say, the ecosystem, they're not qualified to make urban planning decisions, right? How can you say we can put a building there when there's fresh water under the ground and the foundation's going to puncture that aquifer? You know, how can you say we can put a telescope on that mountain and you don't know how important it is on an energy level, on a spiritual level? You're not qualified to make that decision. So through our work, we're hoping to build up these young leaders, these out-of-the-box visionary leaders that are grounded, that can connect and listen and hear what needs to be done. Because when you listen, there's so much wisdom, you know? Like you look at the hokulea, the canoe. It's been so long since anyone had built it. They didn't know all the little features of it, of how they were all supposed to be actually built. Like, do we put the hole here or there? Do we put this size rope or this size rope? And do we use this kind of knot? All these little details. So through like this is how they got some of the ideas. They had to listen. You listen to these guys on the Big Island. They wanted to build a va'a, a canoe, the old-fashioned way. Go in the forest, talk to the trees, see which one wants to be the canoe, you know, build everything from scratch. And what they realized was they had to go sit in the forest a long time, and they had to see where are there chips from the ads, where are there chips from the trees, you know. And they just sat there and they realized things that our ancestors knew, like, okay, if there's birds over there, that tree might have bugs, so it's rotten, so don't get that one, you know. They picked up all these lessons just by sitting there and being one with the environment. And we don't do that anymore because we're so busy. You know, Western society encourages us to be busy and be distracted. And you look at our kids now, they can't focus, right? They have things called ADD and stuff like that. Stuff didn't even exist when we were younger. You know, I have 2 kids in my life, and the older one will say, "You want me to just sit here and be quiet?" Yes, we're waiting. It's called waiting. But it's boring. Like, yeah, sometimes you do that. You don't know how to do that. But it's like some people may use drugs, or some people may just stay super busy or stay on the cell phone, and it's just to keep themselves busy, and it blocks you from being quiet and receiving. And one of my mentors says that all fear arises from a lack of connection with God, a lack of connection with the universe. And it's really like thinking that they're alone, thinking that they're separate, you know. That really changed me a lot, to thinking about teaching the kids to connect in all these ways so they don't feel that. They understand who they are. We need more farmers. We need more kia'i, more guardians, more caretakers. We don't need more business people. That's already ruined the earth. We've already proven that's a bad way to go. We need to go back to taking care of things in sustainable ways. So through education, we're hoping that the kids will do that before it's too late. Yeah, you asking me about my colors?
Your color scheme, yeah.
I've always been into color, and I went to college in San Francisco for art, and color was always my thing. I would have to say that's definitely been a gift that I've been blessed with, I guess, because I can't explain it. And I actually have a hard time teaching it. But I think it comes down to faith again. Like, why would I put pink there? Well, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But, okay, it looks good. You know. The more I meditate, the more I see those colors. I'll fix it if it needs to be fixed. Like if it's a face and the eyes are crooked or something. But sometimes you do something unintended and you step back and you go, oh, hey, that looks alright. You know, you gotta be ready for those. I think that's when it's less of you being a creator and more of you being a gateway and letting it flow through you. You know, and it comes from here, it comes from here. I think also, you know, if you look at things in life more as energy and less as a physical reality, you think in terms of like, how does something feel and how does the light, you know, feel? And, like, it matches. I think for some people, sound and music match. For me, I can't karaoke to save my life, but it's light, yeah. Oh yeah. Here in Hawaii, we have beautiful skies, we have mountains. We feel that the land is very alive, and we have to talk to her. And we feel that a lot of our ancestors are in the clouds and in the air, so you see stuff, you feel connection, you know. I think the more I've gone down this spiritual path, the more I feel connected to this place. And hopefully the kids have that, so they spend less time figuring out who they are and more time doing the work that needs to be done. In terms of like our Hawaiian culture, our Hawaiian identity, you know, like in the 80s, the language almost went extinct. And then Hawaiian immersion schools, charter schools started to form. Now the language has made a comeback. So I think that my generation has been rediscovering who we are and hoping that the younger generation knows who they are. Because of that, they don't have to waste that time, they can go do the work. With the students and with the communities here, we're focusing on what the message is there. We're not going in saying we're going to tell an environmental story. We're going to put forth an environmental message. We just meditate and see what comes out. Most times it's about you folks have to take care of the water. You folks, you know. And we're an island, we're not a continent. So you build a hotel down at the beach and you're going to have less rain on the mountain. You're going to affect the air currents, the wind currents. You know, they don't think, our leaders don't think in that holistic approach. I wouldn't even say it's environmental because Hawaiians don't even have a word for that. You know, you worked in harmony with everything.
For your wish, if you had...
Wait, let me back up on that.
Yes.
Because I think you're both missing this point. if we're meditating and the message is to take care of the land, where is that message coming from? Is it coming from God? Is it coming from our ancestors? Regardless, whichever way you look at it, or if it's coming from the earth, then all three are saying, get it together, you're gonna lose this treasure. On the business side, yeah, we could always use funding. You can go to our website, estria.org, to support. There's a number of different ways you can support. We need walls, we need volunteers, we need supplies, we need money. And all of that will enable us to serve more young people. We definitely need more people interested in teaching with a passion and a commitment to the young people. So tell those people come on down. And I hope to see the people that we teach become those leaders that we hope they'll be, to become farmers, to be caretakers, to be in whatever fields they are, making decisions that take care of the land, take care of the people. I hope to see people more in a spiritual approach to things instead of just a financial approach.
What is it important for you that this recording tells others in Europe and Switzerland? This is what we have to know in a nutshell.
The tourism industry was designed probably by and for the wealthy as what they can do somewhere, what they can get somewhere. And I think if you look at, I don't know what they call it, environmental tourism or cultural tourism, it's also about what can you give when you go there. And I think most visitors don't think in that way. You know, they're looking at what event I can do, what food I can consume. It's about everything's going this way and not going this way. Hawaiian perspective is if somebody gives you something, you give back, you know. And so are a lot of Asians and other cultures. And so having that mindset of when you go somewhere, what can I give first? I can donate to a nonprofit. I can go to the taro patch and volunteer. I can, you know, there's all these different ways. So I think shifting tourism is a huge way in that. They want to get a glimpse and a deeper understanding of a Hawaiian perspective, of an indigenous perspective. Give instead of take. That'd be huge. Historically, our culture here didn't have visual arts in the way that Westerners had it with painting, oil paints. You know, we didn't have those things. We had petroglyphs, we had tikis, we had patterns on clothing. So it's a different approach, but you can see that some students take to it. You know, some take to sports, some take to music, some are good at science. I'm one of those that was not good at science or math and was good at art. So it serves a population of folks that aren't being served. So that's important. But we only had a couple of muralists in the generation before me. And the more famous one is more known as a painter, Herb Kane. He's got nice pieces, they sell his prints, so he did a lot for our culture through the paintings. He empowered Hawaiians to believe in ourselves, to not feel like it was bad to be Hawaiian. You know. Yes, the murals won't last. They're going to fade. We have sun and salt and wind here, and you saw the mural with the queen and how fast that one faded, like 5 years or something. So I think that the permanence isn't in the piece of art itself. You know, the permanence is in the experience that the participants take away. It's in the photos that they could share on social media. We have a documentary film that's out that's traveling the world about the process. We have been very good about documenting with professional photographers with the intention that someday we'll make a series of books. You know, children's books, probably one per each mural, and adult coffee table books. There's a lot of ways we can share the stories and the lessons in each one.
Do you have a map of the location of where the murals
Yeah,
are?
there's a map on our website
Okay.
with the locations. The map is on our website, estria.org. We have done some traveling outside of these islands. So in the summer we got to do, I think, Australia, New Zealand, Samoa. It was amazing. One, to see different places, but also to learn of their cultures and to try to share with them some of what we do. So I think that because our approach is different, because it includes the spiritual piece, the cultural piece, the meditation piece, we feel that we have stuff that we can share with other places. And I think that people that are into an indigenous perspective would gravitate to it. Everything was from nature. Everything went back to nature. Well, both the cacao and the tattoos and the patterns on the cloth. Every shape, all of that has meaning, and I don't know that style of art, so I can't really speak on it too well. But everything was made with natural things. So if you made the patterns on cloth, you got a strip of bamboo and you carved the little shapes, and it's like making a stamp or a printing press. You would dip it on something and then transfer that ink onto the cloth. That's called ohe kapala. So, dyes from flowers and whatever you can find in nature, that's what you used. But the good thing was your entire lifestyle was sustainable. It all went back to the earth.
Thank you so much for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.